And now your next fighter ready to make his way to the cage, Bo Harris.
Bo Harris set to make his Bellator debut. A Michigan high school state wrestling champion and a junior college All-American in wrestling at Muskegon Community College in Michigan. Yet as more and more wrestlers tell us now, I want to keep this fight standing. That's what Harris said.
You hear that all the time now. I'm going to use my wrestling defensively. I'm going to knock a guy out.
Pure strikers never say, you know what, I want to get this to the ground quickly.
No, almost never. It's true, you know, for marketability purposes, you want the finish, you want the highlight knockout. That's what a lot of guys are thinking.
Into the Bellator cage comes Bo Harris.
And now his opponent ready to make his way to the cage, Nick, the Big Herd KIRK.
Nick KIRK, like his opponent in this fight, Bo Harris, also possessing an outstanding amateur wrestling pedigree. KIRK, a three-time Minnesota high school state wrestling champion, and then moved on to the NCAA Division I level where he wrestled at the University of Minnesota. KIRK said, predictably, I've been working on my boxing and I want to keep this fight standing.
I'm going to say that we can easily time it together. I want to keep this fight on the feet.
I asked both fighters, who has the better wrestling for MMA? They both said, well, me, of course.
Me, of course, yeah, obviously. I bet they said they were going to win the fight, too. It's weird. They all sound like broken records after a while.
Bellator Fighting Championships tonight. Along with Casino Rama, we deal excitement. Now, present 3 5-minute rounds in the bantamweight division. Introducing the red corner at 5'5", weighing in at 135 3/4 pounds. His professional record, 6 wins, 3 losses, from Mount Clemens, Michigan, Bo Harris. And across the cage, an opponent fighting out of the blue corner at 5'4", weighing in at 135 1/2 pounds. Undefeated as a professional, 7 wins, no losses, from Minneapolis, Minnesota, Nick, the Big Herd KIRK. And the referee in charge of the action, Ivan Schvetz.
Are you ready? Are you ready? Fight!
A Bellator fight in the bantamweight division. Bo Harris versus Nick KIRK. Round number 1. Harris is in the white trunks, KIRK is in the black trunks. Ivan Schvetz is the referee.
Oh, nice uppercut.
KIRK actually thought that Harris would try to take him down quickly. And again, that's contrary to what Harris actually told us, is that he wants to keep this standing. Head kick misses by Harris. KIRK and Jimmy, I thought this was telling, said that he works a lot on scrambles. He thinks that he can really tire out an opponent by continually scrambling.
Yeah, it's a matter of outworking a guy.
He said he had that attitude in wrestling at the University of Minnesota. He's a 3-time Minnesota high school state champion.
That's what you can do when you have faith in your cardio. You can get the bigger gas tank. Let's spend gas. I got more than you do.
KIRK very much focused on being invited into Bellator's next 135-pound tournament. Wants to make a big impression in this fight versus Bo Harris. Feint on the kick by Harris. Outside kick by KIRK. This in our final prelim tonight. Under the unified rules of MMA, elbows to the head are allowed.
Both guys very quick. Not surprising, most bantamweights are. Both guys very content to throw.
Outside kick by KIRK. Technically, Jimmy, these are still prelims. I don't think there's such a term as post-win.
I've never heard it before.
And you won't hear it from me. Still a prelim.
Following a prelim fight. See some blood coming out of the nose already of Nick KIRK.
Harris keeping very tight hands and throwing the kick. Counter kick on the outside by KIRK, landed flush.
Funny, both guys true to their word. Neither guy really going for a takedown yet. Nice combination, head then body.
Harris showing fast hands, clubbing right hand, didn't get through. KIRK, a good right hand over the top, that landed. Harris pumping the jab. Two former college wrestlers, of course, all stand up.
Well, both guys know that you try and take the other guy down, it's going to cost you a lot of energy. You might get it, you might not, but it's not going to be easy. A lot of energy expended in a takedown attempt that you don't get.
Harris trying to stay active with his kicks. We're trying to get off with the left jab. Kick on the knee by KIRK. 1:35 remaining in the opening round.
Oh, nice right hand.
1-2 by Harris. There's the shot to counter knee.
Good rule of thumb here. I think the only guy that's going to go for the takedown is the one that just got popped. Nice combination.
Kick by Harris that partially got through. Superman punch attempt by KIRK. Harris looking very relaxed in there, keeping his hands high.
See, KIRK trying to land that overhand right, the power shot, but Harris going the better combinations. Punches and bunches.
Counter right by KIRK as Harris step forward.
The problem with working the body, it often leaves your head vulnerable.
Side kick by Bo Harris.
That did not look like a groin shot.
Closing seconds, round number 1.
Good footwork by Harris. He's not standing in front of KIRK. That's part of the reason that he hasn't been successful with that right hand.
Outside kick by KIRK. That's a chopping kick by Harris. So just missing with the overhand right.
KIRK keeps adjusting his cup. I think there might be a problem with it. It's the last distraction you need. There are enough problems in the cage.
KIRK again missing with the right hand. The end of round 1.
You okay with that cup? You okay with that cup? Yes, sir. Stay, is it gonna stay there? Yeah. All right. Step in on that 2. You good? Take a drink. All right, how you feeling? All right, that's the best he's gonna hit you. All right, that's right there. You gotta keep those hands up, keep yourself busy. Let that 2 go, right? But you gotta step in. Remember, head down, like you're gonna come in low, punch it, right to the chin, right to the throat, all right? But you gotta step in on it, right? Let your jab go. Don't be afraid to get in there now, okay? Okay. He's gonna be thinking about uppercut, but you gotta press him forward, be looking right at your target and land on a target, okay? Look right at target, take another sip. All right, so step in, 1, 1, 2. You gotta zone him off. Don't be too frantic, zone him off. As soon as he does anything, you hit your 2, all right? You hit right away, okay? Be firm.
A look at KIRK. Facing Bo Harris, both fighters in their Bellator debut. Jimmy, how did you see round 1?
10-9 for Bo Harris. I thought it was a striking match, and he was the more effective striker.
Nice right hand by KIRK. Again, KIRK with that overhand right, almost a windmill right hand.
It's been landing. It's landing on the top of the head, which isn't as effective, but it has been landing.
Harris showing definitely tight hands. Good body shot counter right over the top by KIRK. KIRK trying to walk through with those punches. Harris pulls out.
Harris has to counter punch in those situations. KIRK has a lot of confidence in that overhand right.
A kick attempt by Harris.
KIRK keeping his hands nice and high, though.
KIRK continually trying to land with that overhand right. There's the clinch by Harris. Bo Harris applying pressure against the cage. KIRK trying to turn. Harris's corner saying, don't let him turn. That's just what Nick KIRK does, and pulls away. Jimmy, Harris definitely showing a boxer's hands in this fight.
Oh, he certainly is, but he's having a little trouble with that overhand right. It's making him a little more tentative in this second round. He was doing well in the first round. He was throwing in combinations.
Harris thought about tying up, then pulled out. Harris with the right hand didn't get through. The combination by KIRK landed the right there. Harris trying to throw a straight right hand of his own on the counter. Halfway through this fight.
That's a nice jab up the center. But what he's doing, what KIRK is doing is he's using that right hand to keep Harris at a distance and make him a little tentative with his offense. He's got a nice fast jab, but he's hesitating to use it because he doesn't want to eat that coming in.
Nice right hand by KIRK.
Just like that, it's pushing Harris back. It's not landing cleanly enough to knock him out or hurt him, but it's doing enough to keep him back, keeping him respecting it. And Harris did well in the first round, throwing in combination.
Harris trying to land the kick, can't do it. To the stomach. Almost a savate kick there, he pointed the toes. Side kick now from Harris. Clinch by Harris, the knee. Both fighters pull out again. Back to distance. Harris trying to throw the uppercut.
Nick still keeping him back, able to throw that right hand. And also,
got to the body by Harris.
And also that working the body, throwing that uppercut to the body leaves your head very vulnerable. Now that's where Harris is doing well, throwing punches and bunches.
Three-punch combination from Bo Harris. 40 seconds remaining in round 2 of this bantamweight fight. Bo Harris versus Nick KIRK. Outside kick by KIRK. KIRK trying to walk through on his punches. Harris pulls out. Harris has looked pretty slick with his stand-up thus far.
He certainly has. Like I said, he slowed down a little bit in the second round there. Hasn't landed the clean strikes he landed in round number 1.
Good left hand. On cue, he landed a clean strike. That was Harris's best punch of this round. And that's head kick at the back. KIRK is in all sorts of trouble.
He cannot barely walk to his corner.
That, in my estimation, Jimmy, is a legal kick, and it should count.
Totally legal. It began before the end of the bell. They might have landed before the bell sounded. See if we can get confirmation on that, but I think it landed before the bell sounded. Completely legal.
We'll show you the replay and then watch the reaction of Nick KIRK. He almost fell forward on his face. Listen for the bell.
He started throwing it before the bell. That is a legal shot. You're allowed to finish a strike. You begin before the bell. A very legal shot. It's a rule a lot of people don't know. If you start a punch before the bell, you are allowed to continue it. Or a kick, and he started that kick before the bell.
Because it's physically impossible to then stop that motion. So KIRK staggering back to his corner between rounds 2 and 3. And Jimmy, how did you score it?
I scored it that last round. I scored 10-9 for Nick KIRK until that last kick. I'm still sticking with it. I don't think that kick was enough to turn around, but KIRK landed with that right hand over the top, able to keep Bo Harris from getting, from landing effectively.
So you're dead even going into round 3 on your unofficial scorecard, 19-19.
Dead even 19-19, although that last round could go either way.
Some ground fighting now. Harris closes guard. First time we've been to the mat. See the wide base held by Nick KIRK, looking for punching range. Now pushing Harris back to the base of the fence. Low close guard held by Bo Harris.
Now what you have to wonder is how much has his head cleared since that head kick? A lot of times after a shot like that, guys are fighting on instinct. They're not with it. They go back to what they're really experienced with. You see there with the takedown.
You see Harris defensively trying to tie up the arms of Nick KIRK. Still close guard for Bo Harris. Trying to throw the left, and he does. Does it again. Left to the side of the head by Nick KIRK.
Bo Harris doing a good job defensively, not eating any big strikes here. But KIRK certainly keeping the pressure on.
You see Harris has the right arm of KIRK trapped. KIRK still trying to throw with the left, and he does effectively there. There's the stand-up from referee Ivan Shvets. You gonna have a go with that name, Jimmy? You're gonna leave it to me.
I am leaving it completely. Sounds like Yiddish profanity, but you don't know. Our producer Rob Biner often feels a little Shvets sometimes, he tells us, when we have a bad performance. I'm sure that means something.
Oh, hardcores, aren't you glad you're with us on Spike.com? Harris trying to take advantage of this stand-up.
Also, Harris has to know he's behind so far in this round. Needs to turn it up. He's had trouble landing effectively in these last 2 rounds. Other than that head kick, which was beautiful.
A kick attempt by Harris did not get through. Right to the body by Bo Harris. 1:45 remaining in this 3rd and final round.
KIRK looks tired. It looks like he's backpedaling a little bit.
Spinning back kick attempt. Harris's corner just called for the 164. I think that was the 164.
Certainly could have been. Every gym's just a little different. You never know.
Stay busy.
Feint by Harris. Kick attempt again. That blocked by KIRK. They're trying to step in with the left hand. To the 15th and final minute we go.
So Bo Harris moving to the outside. He's fighting like he has this one in the back. Not really turning it on, trying to steal this 3rd round. Although I think he has been controlling it since they've been standing up.
Harris missing with that 1-2. Windmill right over the top, misses by KIRK.
Both guys kind of shadow boxing each other at this point. Nobody really being able to land. Oh, good right.
Disquiet in this sold-out Casino-Rama crowd. Kick by Harris. Into the stretch drive. Both fighters looking for one more big shot. And this will go to the judges.
Good play, guys.
Jimmy, let's talk about judging for a moment. In MMA, same as in boxing, a judge has to know his score at all times. So if you stop around just saying 141, you have to say who is winning.
Exactly.
You're not meant to contemplate afterwards and say, well, I think this, I think that. Interesting, though, because that legal kick to the head that almost put Nick KIRK out at the end of round 2, how will a judge react to that? Because if they're scoring at 10-9 Nick KIRK, does that then flip it?
It can, because it was a legal shot that has to be considered in the judging. Now, what you have to say is, how far ahead was Nick KIRK at that time? Was he more than a head kick ahead? You know, that's one of the things you have to keep in mind whenever you're judging. It's what I keep in mind when I'm making my scorecard.
Round 2, that would have ended if you threw that kick 1 second.
They call it stealing rounds for a reason. Judges tend to appreciate what happens at the end of a round, how a guy finishes more than how he starts.
Anytime you're at a Bellator, at a live MMA show, just keep an eye on your judges. Watch if they write down a score immediately on their scorecard if you're sitting close enough cage side or ringside, or watch if they contemplate. They should not be contemplating. You should know the score at any given time.
I think if you're watching the judges, it must be a crappy fight. I don't remember being in a fight going, you know what, I think I'll watch a judge right now. Don't recall ever thinking that.
We're watching the judges
You see
now.
why. You see why. I mean, it's really not the most riveting shot I've ever seen in Bellator. You know, they don't look that interested in whatever they're writing.
Speaking of judges, Jimmy, on your unofficial scorecard.
29-28, Bo Harris. I thought he won that last round. He was the busier fighter after that takedown. But no big, I mean, other than that head kick, no big, fight-altering shots on either side. Very difficult fight to judge.
Ladies and gentlemen, we'll go to your judges' scorecards where all 3 judges, Patrick Buckley, David Terrien, and Mike McNeil, all score the fight exactly the same, 29-28, all for the winner. By unanimous decision, Bo Harris.
The winner by way of unanimous decision in his Bellator debut, Bo Harris defeats Nick KIRK.